a secret that I am fan of Netflix Castlevania animated series. Yeah, today it is a topic of conversation that appears constantly in my conversations and made sure to see the seasons of week that they came out. I'm not fan of games, or well, rather I haven't played any. I don't know, they just didn't call me the attention, but the series itself a lot. I know that many people in the fandom have problems with the series and some things here and there that they changed. For the truth, the series seems to me a product that if you can enjoy it yourself without the need to fully understand the original material. For me, it's always they are the best adaptation, especially in a saga that takes place through centuries and centuries of history. So, after watching a very good video of Dark Media doing a breakdown of the final fight against Dracula, I say, hey, why don't you make a video of the use of pain and violence in the series? Because Castlevania is a violent series, and when I say violent, I mean very violent. Trains, blood, limbs, and all cannot let the world. But it's not like his violence was there only cause shock to say everyone, look, we are animation for adults. And it's something that I really only seen in a few other series do. For example, Invisible, but Mariana Golondrina already made a video about this series, so they should anyway check it out. I will talk about several fight scenes that I like a lot because they are an excellent narrative tool to advance the plot of characters' development through the conflicts, beginning with the final fight of second season, Dracula against Trevor, Saifa, and Alucard. In this series, Dracula has a face special, since, at least in games that I know, was always king of brutally evil villain, whose job was to torment humanity and to be honestly, is quite an interpretation. Currently version of Dracula, at least with Let's Go to original novel, Stoker, where his plan was to invade Europe and feed on the innocent people of England, but in the series, they returned like a likable villain. And the first episode is dedicated to him and his relationship with his wife Lisa Tepes. We see this monster slowly grow from this woman of science who doesn't connect with the human side of him and finally fall in love only for a few years then while Dracula travels to meet the world, his wife is murdered with the church who think she is a witch and having sex with the devil, which to be fair is basically what that hair was doing, but for a good reason. Look at this dude. She wanted to help the world and bring medical technology from that very few people know. Something that if do you know the historical context of the witches is quite true. This is a video spinning on the screen. Yes, if you want to know more. The trauma of losing Lisa makes Dracula to go on a campaign of murder the humans of Wallachia and eventually the world. Because according of him, if they were not able to appreciate the gift to the world that was Lisa don't deserve to live. Several times Dracula called someone so depressed and affected by the death of his wife that he is slowly committing suicide because without humans the vampires will not have any kind of food. His plan is not the human genocide, but also the vampires.
You died when my mother died. You know you did. This entire catastrophe has been nothing but history's longest suicide note.
It is interesting to know how our characters with empathy in the series, they seem to understand Dracula's motive. No one really tells him they are wrong to feel that way or that he are exaggerating. There even comes a time when Trevor says he murdered Dracula's wife. It was probably the stupidest thing that someone could have done, and Alucard says that Dracula is justified to kill people who hurt his wife, but that he should not make everyone suffer war, and while the first crossroad, Dracula against the world looks horrible and full of violence, but someone accepts fear deserves it. Not only the people who murdered his wife who was celebrating the anniversary, but ignored its warning him to leave the city and make peace with his life. The series is so nice to Dracula that what makes immediately to the massacre of him is introduced to Trevor Belmont, who has many parallels with Dracula. Both are disillusioned with the current state of the world and believe that it is a lost cause as well as have a very similar nihilism. The search of death and belief had nothing matters anymore. They both lost everything thanks to the church, Belmont his family and Dracula his wife, even if they were doing the world good, with the Belmonts protecting the world from the monster, and Lisa creating a world better than with advice and medicine. Trevor and Dracula had a very similar, but not in the classic sense of, hey, we're not that different, you and me. I think they know it and they don't really see as something bad. In any other situation, they probably wouldn't even be interacting together. But it is a purely professional conflict. Dracula is a monster and Trevor is a hunter monsters, and it's a matter of work, not there a feeling of hate or resentment between them. It's just what they had to do and treat it merely as a professional transaction, which even he realizes the ways personal that treat the villain of the season. He doesn't see is a big or pure evil that must be eliminated. Not he even seems very concerned about the deaths of he has caused. Even in some points seems to believe that they deserve it. But Dracula and Trevor, they have many things in common. I honestly love it because it's very refreshing to the idea of the hero who puts all of himself in the final fight, crying and full of feelings of something personal. Here we see him as a guy doing his work that will probably go to drink something after finishing. More hero like this, please.
You must be the Belmont.
The real conflict comes from who else? Alucard, the son of our villain, who is a living, breathing reminder of this philosophy. And however true he claims to be doing all this for his dead wife, she will probably be very disappointed in him, and it is engages Dracula more than he can because he knows that his son is right. That's why fight against him and leave him almost dead for a split second because he's too into his plan of destruction and the death that led the sentimentality of his son stop him. Even if again you know you have the reason makes him dumb at his actions for him and it's something that Dracula he definitely hates because just like Lisa, Alucard connects with him his side human and makes him hate what he's doing for Lisa, but he and Alucard, they know that he lied. That is a way selfish to unleash pain of him. Notoriously, Lisa's last words were, "Forgive them, please. They don't know what they're doing," which shows that even in the bonfire, she wishes the well-being for the humanity. All this conflict leads us to the final fight of the second season. After Trevor and company brutalized Dracula's lieutenant, in so only a few minutes, vampires who, according to his victims in the third season, were so powerful that they had part of Japan under his control. It's time to finally face the final boss, Dracula, starting with one of the best moments of the series.
You must be the Belmont.
I will never get tired of watching this scene, but aside from its obvious potential for meme, this scene is so good because we demonstrate as Dracula instantly recognize that the only family of psychopaths who dare to risk hitting it deserting into the house would be the Vermonts. And he doesn't even do like, you are stupid of trying. Later he says is like, oh, another Vermont. This must be fun. True as stupid as it may seem, Trevor is hiking straight, and the seasons later he showed that he best him if they ever to make a foolproof certain monsters, so hitting Dracula when it was such a bad idea. But at the end of the day, it's Dracula, the king of vampires, love of darkness, and many other titles. So the fight at the least of Safe and Trevor is more about surviving. Certainly, they are a little out of their language. Dracula is playing with them. Well, yes, but in another way. He is attacking to kill, claws and teeth first. The only reason why they have something from where hold on and not die is because Trevor has a magical weapon specified designed to kill vampires, which even in this situation he only serves to push back Dracula and Cypher is a very powerful magician indeed. This is the first time in the whole series where we see Cypher battle in a fight before everything was easy for her, almost like a game. The fight between Trevor and Dracula on the other hand seems almost like a fun moment for both of them. Part of this interaction begins so impersonal and professional as I said above. It also causes both be injured elements. It's a fight between a vampire and vampire hunter. Not that both are enjoyed it. Not they are fighting for the fate of the humanity of anything like that. It's just a high moment in your careers and will probably bust in the future. But when he fights with Alucard, things change drastically. The fight becomes sad, melancholic, and no time to do. The pain is with less that what is it? A tragedy that these two people who love each other very much are fighting because they have ideals completely opposites, and it shows. While when they are fighting between Trevor and Saifa, Dracula shot to kill without much concern. When he fights with Alucard, restrains himself, even fears fight closed. Something completely useless for a vampire with claws that easily they can kill another vampires. And for more, be mad at him for trying to stop him can take himself really attack him because deep down he knows that he is wrong and that if he really attacks the son, finally he would have lost everything. This fight culminates in probably the most emotional destructive moment of the series, where Dracula, though mercilessly fighting his son, realizes that he is in his childhood room about to kill his baby. This is where he finally realizes how broken he is, how he really has speed on everything that Lisa believed in, that he's so lost in his pain and resentment that he is willing to kill to his son, proof of his love that shares it with her, and it is that Dracula he really loved Alucard with all his heart of him. And this is not even like other series of movies with a similar plot to this one to where realizes, oh yes, I love my son because he reminds me of my wife. No, he's love to Alucard for being Alucard, his baby, his son, the other person he loves the most of the world, and realizes that he is already dead. And this is the start of the conga of traumas of Alucard who, from the somatic event of murdering his father, will have to face other horrible things, like being betrayed in his first sexual experience, or seeing his parents come back in one body together, puts into perspective how horrible it is. This how life, when you consider which chronologically should not have more than 20 years old. Okay, this is an advising. This video is part 1 of parts that I plan to divide this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see the second part talking about the arc of Carmilla and her sisters,